This is a 12-minute video to walk you through how to create an account and complete an application for the Emergency Community Support Fund through Community Foundations of Canada. So when you click on the link to apply, it will bring you to this page. And if you have a SurveyMonkey Apply login, you can log in here. If you don't, and I'm sure most of you probably don't have one, then you'll have to go to the top right-hand corner where it says register. If you click on register, it will bring you to this page where you'll need to enter some basic information. So this is going to be a test account. And you'll need to create a secure password. And you'll need to confirm that you are not a robot. And you can create an account. You'll need to send a verification link before you can complete any applications. You will receive an email with the verification link, and when you click on that, you will then be able to use your account, and it will open up a new tab. So here, you'll see I'm logged in as a test account. If you don't have a login, it will come into a login page, and at the top right-hand corner will be a register button. So I'm going to click apply. And this brings up the application page. The first thing you need to do is fill out the eligibility quiz. And these are just a few short questions that are going to ensure that you're eligible to apply for the fund through a community foundation. If you click on the eligibility quiz, the first question is going to be asking if you're a qualified donee. So qualified donees can apply for the fund through community foundations. If you're a nonprofit, please reach out to the Red Cross or the United Way as a partner who's also delivering the fund. I'm going to say yes. And the second question is, did you secure funding from the Government of Canada or another intermediary for the same project costs? So CFC, United Way, and the Red Cross are all distributing funds from the ECSF. You can apply for multiple sources of funding for the same project. But we do recommend that you apply for different project costs. So for example, you might apply to have part of the project funded by CFC and another part of the project funded by the Red Cross. You can't receive funding from multiple sources for the same project costs. And then the third one is going to be granting permission for this information to be shared with the Government of Canada, United Way, Community Foundations, and the Red Cross. Once I've done that, I'm going to mark it as complete. And you'll see we now have 5 sections on the left-hand side of the page that are the different sections of the application. When I click on section 1, this is going to be where you are applying from. So which community foundation are you applying to? You'll see here, this is a link on our website. If you're not sure what your local community foundation is, you can go to their website and you can do a search there to find out what your local community foundation is. You'll see on the drop-down menu here the list of all the community foundations. Some community foundations, for example, Calgary, are going to be their own portal or are not going to be using this application. Very few foundations will be doing a separate application portal. So most applications will be done there, but if you do select one and it comes up with this message, that's why. The long list of all the different community foundations. If you can't find your community foundation on the list, you can also select at the very bottom Community Foundations of Canada and apply to us directly. You can then fill out your name. It will be automatically filled out from your registration, the email, your phone number. And with your phone number, please be sure to insert the dashes between the numbers. And your preferred language of correspondence, English and French. Once that's been marked as complete, I'll move on to the second section of the application. The second section of the application is going to be about your organization. So first, I'm going to enter the name of the organization. I'm going to enter the address. And if you don't complete a field and you try to submit it, it's going to say that you haven't completed the field and you'll need to go back. Here, you'll need to enter your charitable number or your status. So for example, if you aren't a registered charity and you don't have a charitable number, you can enter in your qualified donee status. And then next, to supply your CRA website, if applicable. And in maximum of 200 words, please describe the main activities of your organization. It will show you at the bottom here how many words you've typed. You'll be able to type more than 200 words, but you will not be able to submit it if you have more than 200 words. And then we encourage you to link here your digital platforms, your Twitter, website, and things like that. And you have to let us know if you're applying in collaboration with any other community partners. So that's section 2 done. Section 3 is going to be about the project. So what is the title of the project? And then you have to summarize the project in one sentence. And then we're going to ask you to give a brief description of how this project addresses an urgent community need caused by COVID-19. So that'll include the project objectives, how the project fills a gap or meets an identified need, and how the project outcomes will benefit the community. And the maximum for that is going to be 250 words. Next, if you can let us know whether you've applied either to the Canadian Red Cross or United Way for the same project costs. And then we'll ask you to identify what vulnerable groups this project is serving. So you'll see here, there's a link to the applicant guide, which is the full list of the vulnerable groups that are listed. And they're in this drop-down menu. So let's say it is assisting those people experiencing homelessness and temporary foreign workers and caregivers. So there's up to 3, and then you can check additional vulnerable populations that it serves. Next is going to be to select the type of services that you'll provide with the project. So you can select multiple services that you might be providing. Finally, is going to be to select the types of activities in the project. And again, you can select multiple that apply. Next, we're going to want a start date of when the project will start. Also, when the project will finish. Please note that the activities and expenses supported by the grant must be spent prior to March 31st, 2021. In which area is the project primarily taking place? And then, is your project being primarily delivered in the same location as your organization? You can then upload any files that you might be helpful. So you can upload any PDFs here. You can also share with us any Google Docs, which you think might be helpful. And then I mark this section as complete. And you'll see that it said that there's something that I have not answered. There we go. So it will prompt you if you do miss any sections. The next section is going to be the grant request budget. The best thing to do is to check with your local community foundation to see if they have any limits on the grant money you can request. It will depend on how big a population it is and what their sort of allocation is. So it can range. The best thing to do is going to be contact your community foundation. Will your project or program continue if you're awarded a smaller grant? And then we encourage you, if you have a budget, to upload a budget file here. And there's also a budget template if you would like to make a budget. And you can mark as complete. And the last section is going to be the authorizations and declarations. So we want to know if you owe any money to the Government of Canada, if any former public servants will be involved. And the authorizations are going to be declaring that the application is accurate, that you have not secured funds from another emergency community support fund provider for the same expenses, and that you have the appropriate signing authority. Once you have completed all that, you can mark that as complete. You'll notice that now that we've completed all the sections of the application, you have a submit button here, and you can click on your submit button. There's an option to review your application. So you can look through your application, make sure it has everything that you want, do a double check. And then when you're happy with that, you can submit your application in the top corner. There you go, and your application has been submitted. Now that you have completed your application, the next time you log into the portal, you'll come to this page and you'll see it has See My Application and Apply here. Apply would be to start another application, and if you look at See My Application, you'll be able to see all the details of the application you submitted. You can click preview and see the full application. You can also see your status. So project application is under review. And you can go here and look at any activity that's happened on the application.